It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and we'll see Zach Wilson. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Broncos and the Jets, and it's all up next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today on to Week 15 in the NFL, and we've got a good matchup in store, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
And off we go from Denver. Taken at the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds. Here's the run back. Will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, at Zach Wilson.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. 17 carries, 80 yards.
It's a very nice winning streak that they're on, and they've really seen this offense come into its own as a unit. And one of the keys is that the ground game has been established, and it's keeping the defense honest near the line of scrimmage. Sometimes that leads to huge games for him. Other times, he plays a complementary role to someone else. But however it's getting done, they're winning week after week.
Now Wilson. It's a 7-yard gain there. It's good enough to move the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Quentin Williams in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Wilson to throw. And that is incomplete here.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, if nothing else, they were able to pick up 1 first down on this drive and get it away from their own goal line. But not much happening after that, and it leads to a punting situation.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Fielded at about the 28. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
Partner, you know how guys always tell us it's not about the numbers, it's about the win. It's about the numbers, too. Almost 400 yards passing by him last week. What can he do in this one?
Well, earned him AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Maybe he'll try to get 400-plus here and duplicate that honor again. They'll start on the ground. Hall. That nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They finally caught up to him there at the end of the play, but great inside handoff, and what a powerful run.
The first few yards seemed relatively easy. Then it got tougher, right? And that's where he showed that he was not going to go down easily. He was not going to be denied until he got everything he could out of that run.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. He's got this to Williams, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one good for 37 yards. And they need about the length of the football here on 1st and goal. They'll run with Hall. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Breece Hall with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. So both sides of the football contributing here early. Their defense forces the punt, and then the offense takes it down the field and punches it in on the short touchdown run.
And, Brandon, that's good complementary football, and that's what they're going to need if they want to get out of here victorious.
Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Well, this defense for the Jets, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out in the running game.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. But now he appears to be in some pain. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. They'll come up 2nd and 7. On the option, here's Wilson. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Here's Braden Mann now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 11. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that. Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Breece Hall with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Denver's offense now set to go. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Now it's Wilson. Johnson's got it complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38 as they've got it as we resume action. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
The give is to McLaughlin. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Holding offense.
Mike McGlinchey, the Notre Dame man, guilty on that one.
Still second down.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Wilson. He had to reach for that one, but can't grab it. It's behind him, and it's incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. Now a hit and a loose football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 82 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On play action, Rodgers. He's airing it out for Williams. And this is incomplete. Oh, looked like he had a pretty good line on that. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. On fourth down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. It's taken to the 26. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget Paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game.
I'm going to break it.
I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
And they're going to be settled down around the 15-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Paul want to give up the middle. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Alex Singleton, the linebacker, there on the tackle.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Rodgers. That's complete. Right around the 8. Touchdown. Garrett Wilson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Jets take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that, because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Zerline now for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This taken in right around the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. And Denver getting set to take the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2nd down and 8. On the handoff, McLaughlin. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll be forced out of bounds on the other side of the field. 50 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game, and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Dancing to his left. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On second down, here's Wilson. A quick throw there is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Throwing is Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. And the Jets defense making things difficult there. 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Out now is the punter, Braden Mann. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Well, once again, here comes Garrett Wilson in the Jets offense. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And his throw here's incomplete.
He's second in the NFL on interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. A give running right is Hall. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. That is caught. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 27-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. On play action, it's Rodgers. And he'll find Hall. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Wilson's got it complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Alan Lazard in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jets would extend their lead here just before halftime.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Now Zerline on and the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start by heading out west, State Farm Stadium in Glendale. And the Patriots have the lead in the final stages before halftime. The Pats seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. Brandon Ayuk, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Josh Allen leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. We were treated to a solid first half out of the running back, Breece Hall. He chipped in a couple of touchdown runs as he was running with determination right from the word go. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16. Playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for, and remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the fourth quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, his Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. It's a gain of 35.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
Straight ahead is Hall. And he's got it down to the 28.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Oh, able to avoid him. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
116 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Touchdown, Jets.
Garrett Wilson
His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jets take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the fourth quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Zerline good with a PAT. And that makes this 35-0 now. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Here's McLaughlin. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. That's caught inside the 20. A huge play there for Denver. 71 yards.
Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you what, third down, all you're thinking is, what can we do to keep this drive going to get enough yardage to move the sticks? You're certainly not thinking about taking this with almost the length of the field, but that's exactly what happens here. What a play, and what a change of fortunes.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
This is 2nd and 8.
Here's Wilson. And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Wilson. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Xavier Gibson now from his end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Now this offense and Garrett Wilson headed back out.
He's been his typical solid and reliable self, hasn't he, Charles?
When you have that go-to receiver that you can count on in a situation where you absolutely have to have him, there's nothing better for anybody who's throwing the football. But the best part is the payoff. 2 touchdowns already. That's the bottom line when you throw the ball to a guy.
Absolutely. Not over 100 yards right now, but he does have the 2 touchdown catches. A good pickup there at 22.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the... Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Lazard now on the end around.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Alan Lazard with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Jets are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
This taken in at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Wilson. Underneath here to Hill. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. So the completion good for just 3. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. That one goes for 8 yards.
With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
The throw over the middle taken in. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 36 yards on the play. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Wilson.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Zerline now for the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
And coming out now, the Broncos.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Wilson getting right back to it after the pick six. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Johnson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. Now it's Wilson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. He's got room at the 30. Down the left sideline. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes the return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now Wilson. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's Wilson to throw. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Hassan Reddick able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Fielded at the 33. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Handoff, running left. Here's Hall. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move was there, but didn't buy him a whole lot.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. It's a big play there for the Jets on 3rd down. 42 yards.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays, your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A handoff for Hall. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And they're going to speed things up here. Rodgers throwing here. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. On 3rd down, here's Hall.
And he is going to lose yardage here. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. On play action, now Rodgers. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season, but on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Jets, the win is number 9 for them on the year, and they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.